Sienna slammed the sketchbook shut, her heart pounding as the charcoal lines of two entwined women stared back at her like a confession she couldn't erase. "You can't keep hiding forever," Lorelei's voice echoed in her mind, a ghost from last night's heated argument that had left them both in tears. In that moment, as rain hammered against the window of her cramped Brooklyn apartment, Sienna realized her designs weren't just art. They were the unraveling of her carefully guarded secret. Sienna Harper had always been the architect of her own illusions. Growing up in the shadow of Philadelphia's crumbling row houses, where the Liberty Bell's toll seemed more like a mocking reminder of freedom she couldn't claim, she learned early on to draw lines that hid more than they revealed. Her father, a truck driver with dreams bigger than his paycheck, vanished one foggy morning when she was 12, poof, like a bad magic trick, leaving behind a note that read, "Chasing the horizon. Don't wait up." Her mother, Elaine, once a vibrant seamstress who stitched love into every quilt, found solace in the amber glow of whiskey bottles, her laughter turning to slurred accusations by nightfall. By the time Sienna hit her 20s, she had fled to New York City, the concrete jungle where ambitions clawed their way to the top. She enrolled in the Fashion Institute of Technology, her portfolio bursting with designs that screamed rebellion, bold patterns, asymmetrical cuts, fabrics that whispered of untamed spirits. But beneath it all, Sienna buried her truth. She was a lesbian, a word she could barely whisper to herself in the mirror. In a family fractured by abandonment and addiction, coming out felt like inviting another disappearance, her own. It was at a rooftop party in Chelsea, amid the glitter of Manhattan's skyline, where she first met Lorelei Voss. Lorelei was everything Sienna wasn't. Unapologetically out, with a cascade of auburn hair that caught the city lights like fireflies, and eyes the color of stormy Atlantic waves. She was a photographer, capturing the raw essence of queer life in her lens. Drag queens mid-twirl, lovers stealing kisses in Central Park, protests where rainbow flags waved like battle standards. "Your dress," Lorelei had said that night, pointing to Sienna's self-designed gown with its hidden pockets and flowing sleeves. "It's like it's trying to say something you're not ready to hear." They talked until dawn, Lorelei's stories of growing up in San Francisco's Castro district painting pictures of acceptance that Sienna had only dreamed of. "My parents marched in the first Pride," Lorelei boasted, her laugh infectious. Sienna felt a spark, a dangerous flicker in her chest, but she doused it with excuses: work, family, timing. Yet, as weeks turned to months, their chance encounter bloomed into friendship. Coffee dates in Greenwich Village, where beat poets once roamed, evolved into late-night walks along the Hudson, sharing secrets under the stars. Sienna's designs began to shift subtly. What started as abstract patterns morphed into motifs of intertwined figures, feminine forms embracing in swirls of color. Her professors praised her evolution, calling it a breakthrough in emotional expression. But Elaine, during rare sober phone calls, would pry, "You seeing anyone, sweetie? A nice boy to settle down with?" Sienna's lies came easy, but each one chipped away at her soul. One crisp autumn evening, Lorelei invited Sienna to her studio in Bushwick, a loft filled with exposed brick and the scent of developing film. "I want to show you something," Lorelei said, her voice laced with excitement. She unveiled a series of photographs. Women in love, captured in moments of raw vulnerability. One image stopped Sienna cold. A couple dancing in the rain, their bodies close, faces alight with joy. "This could be us," Lorelei whispered, stepping closer, her hand brushing Sienna's. The kiss that followed was electric, a storm breaking after years of drought. Sienna pulled away first, panic flooding her veins. "I can't," she stammered. "My mom. My life. It's complicated." Lorelei's eyes softened with understanding, but the hurt was there, a crack in their budding connection. That night Sienna sketched furiously, her pencil birthing designs that screamed what her lips couldn't: desire, longing, truth. As winter blanketed the city in snow, their relationship deepened in stolen moments. Picnics in Washington Square Park, where folk musicians strummed guitars, whispers in dimly lit bars where jazz notes floated like smoke. Lorelei pushed gently, encouraging Sienna to embrace her identity. "Your art knows who you are," she said one evening, tracing a finger over a gown adorned with lesbian symbols woven subtly into the fabric. "Why can't you?" But shadows loomed. Elaine's health deteriorated, her liver protesting years of abuse. Sienna flew back to Philly for visits, sitting by her mother's bedside in a hospital that smelled of antiseptic and regret. "Your father left us broken," Elaine murmured, her hand frail in Sienna's. "Don't you break too." The words twisted like a knife. How could Sienna confess now, when her mother clung to illusions of normalcy? Back in New York, tension brewed. Lorelai grew frustrated with the secrecy. "I'm not your dirty little secret," she snapped during an argument in Sienna's apartment, the Empire State Building mocking them from the window. Sienna's designs for her senior collection poured out her turmoil. Dresses with hidden compartments for letters unsent, patterns that shifted from shadow to light. Unbeknownst to her, these pieces were becoming her unintended coming-out manifesto. The senior showcase at FIT was the pinnacle, a glittering event where industry scouts mingled with wide-eyed students under the chandeliers of a midtown ballroom. Sienna's collection, titled Veiled Whispers, took center stage. Models glided down the runway in her creations, gowns that told stories of hidden loves, with embroidery depicting women holding hands, hearts entangled in vines. The audience murmured in awe, but Sienna's stomach churned. Lorelai sat in the front row, her supportive smile a beacon amid the flashbulbs. As the final model struck a pose, applause erupted. A prominent designer from a queer-friendly label approached Sienna backstage. "Your work speaks volumes about identity and suppression," she said. "It's brave." Sienna forced a smile, but inside she felt exposed, as if her soul was on display. That night, at the after-party in a Soho loft pulsing with electronic beats, Lorelai pulled her aside. "You did it," she whispered, kissing her cheek. "Now let's make this real." But reality crashed in like a tidal wave. Elaine, hearing about the showcase through a cousin's social media post, called in a rage. "What is this filth? Women loving women? Is this you, Sienna?" Her voice slurred, laced with betrayal. Sienna hung up, tears streaming, and confided in Lorelai. "She'll never accept me." Lorelai held her, promising, "We'll face it together." Their love deepened, a sanctuary in the chaos. Spring brought cherry blossoms to Central Park, where they picnicked, Lorelai capturing Sienna's laughter on film. Sienna started therapy, unraveling the knots of her past, her father's abandonment teaching her love was fleeting, her mother's addiction showing her vulnerabilities cost. "I'm ready to tell her," Sienna declared one day, her voice steady. But fate intervened cruelly. Lorelai received an offer for a photography residency in Los Angeles, a dream opportunity to document Hollywood's underbelly. "It's only 6 months," she assured Sienna. "We can make long-distance work." Doubt crept in, amplified by Sienna's insecurities. Whispers from mutual friends hinted at Lorelai's past, a string of short-lived romances, a reputation for wandering hearts. The conflict escalated during a weekend getaway to the Hamptons, where ocean waves crashed like their emotions. "You're pulling away," Sienna accused as they walked the beach at sunset. Lorelai sighed. "I'm scared too, but I need this for my career." The argument peaked with Lorelai confessing, "I've been talking to an ex about the move. Just advice." To Sienna it felt like betrayal, an echo of her father's disappearance. Back in the city, Sienna threw herself into work, landing an internship at a boutique label in the garment district. Her designs evolved, incorporating elements of resilience, fabrics that mended themselves symbolically, patterns inspired by mended hearts. Lorelai prepared to leave, their goodbye at JFK Airport a tearful embrace. "I'll come back to you," she promised, boarding the plane. Months dragged on. Video calls sustained them at first, Lorelai sharing snapshots of palm-lined streets and celebrity sightings. But gaps widened, missed calls, vague excuses. Sienna's paranoia grew, fueled by social media glimpses of Lorelai at parties with glamorous women. "Who's that?" Sienna asked during one tense call. Lorelai brushed it off, but the seed of doubt sprouted. Elaine's condition worsened, requiring Sienna's frequent trips home. In Philly, amid the familiar smells of cheesesteaks and pretzels, Sienna finally confessed. "Mom, I'm gay. And I'm in love with a woman." Elaine's eyes widened, then softened. "I always knew, honey. I was just afraid for you." It was a breakthrough laced with tears and hugs, but Elaine's health declined rapidly, her body giving out. As summer sweltered in New York, Sienna received the call. Elaine had passed. Grief swallowed her, avoid echoing her father's absence. She buried her mother in a quiet ceremony, wearing a dress from her collection, a symbol of unveiled truth. Lorelai flew back for the funeral, her presence a comfort amid the pain. "I'm here," she whispered, holding Sienna through the night. But reunion brought revelations. In the haze of morning, Sienna discovered messages on Lorelai's phone, flirtatious exchanges with a colleague in Ella. "It was nothing," Lorelai insisted, tears falling. "I was lonely." Betrayal stung like salt in wounds, shattering Sienna's trust. "You promised together," Sienna cried, the words echoing in her empty apartment. The fallout was dramatic, a storm of accusations and pleas. Lorelai begged for forgiveness, explaining her fears of commitment stemmed from her own chaotic upbringing. Parents divorced amid infidelity. Sienna, raw from loss, pushed her away. "I can't do this anymore." Lorelai left, heading back to California, leaving Sienna to piece together her broken world. Alone, Sienna channeled her anguish into art. Her next collection, Fractured Fabrics, debuted to critical acclaim, depicting themes of betrayal and healing through torn and repaired garments. Industry buzz grew, offers pouring in. But emotionally she wandered, attending support groups in the village, where stories of queer resilience mirrored her own. Fall painted New York in hues of amber and crimson, a backdrop to Sienna's introspection. She wandered the High Line, elevated gardens where wildflowers defied urban sprawl, reflecting on her journey. Lorelai's betrayal lingered like a bruise, but therapy sessions in a cozy office overlooking Union Square helped her unpack it. "Forgiveness isn't for them," her therapist said. "It's for you." News of Lorelai's success trickled in, her LA exhibit on queer icons making waves in galleries. Sienna felt a mix of pride and pain, scrolling through photos online. One image caught her. Lorelai alone on a beach, caption reading, "Learning to stand on my own." It humanized her, reminding Sienna that everyone carried scars. A turning point came at a queer art festival in Brooklyn's Prospect Park. Amid booths of paintings and sculptures, Sienna showcased her work, drawing crowds. There she met Alex, a kind-hearted editor from a fashion magazine, but sparks didn't fly. Her heart still echoed Lorelai's name. Instead, friendships blossomed, a network of support that bolstered her. Drama intensified when Lorelai returned to New York for a book launch, her photography collection bound in a glossy tome. Mutual friends invited Sienna, curiosity overriding caution. The event at a Tribeca bookstore buzzed with creatives. Lorelai spotted her across the room, eyes locking in a charged silence. "Can we talk?" Lorelai asked later, over coffee at a nearby diner, neon signs flickering like hesitant hearts. The conversation unraveled layers. Lorelai admitted her infidelity fully. "It was a mistake, born from fear of losing you. I sabotaged us." Tears flowed as she shared her own therapy journey, confronting patterns of self-destruction. Sienna listened, her anger softening to empathy. "I hid from myself for so long," Sienna confessed. "And you made me face it even if it hurt." Reconciliation wasn't immediate. They started slow, walks in Riverside Park, where Hudson River breezes carried whispers of possibility. Sienna's designs reflected this mending. Collections with themes that celebrated scars, fabrics blending old and new. Her career soared, landing a feature in Vogue, where she openly discussed her identity. "My art was my coming out," she told the interviewer, her voice steady. But old wounds reopened when a letter arrived, from her father. Postmarked from Arizona, it read, "I followed your success from afar. Proud of you, kid. Sorry for the mess I left." Enclosed was a photo of him, older, with a new family. Rage boiled. How dare he resurface now? Sienna shared it with Lorelai, who held her as she cried. "You don't owe him anything," Lorelai said. It was a moment of solidarity, strengthening their bond. High drama peaked at New York's Pride Parade. Amid floats and cheers, Sienna marched with Lorelai, rainbow flags waving. But a confrontation arose. Lorelai's ex from LA appeared, stirring jealousy. "She's just a friend now," Lorelai assured, but Sienna's trust wavered. An argument ensued in the midst of the crowd, voices lost in the din. "I can't keep fearing you'll leave," Sienna shouted. Lorelai pulled her close. "Then believe in us." They emerged stronger, committing to couples counseling. Sessions in a sunlit room delved into their pasts, Sienna's abandonment issues, Lorelai's fear of intimacy. Progress was slow, marked by setbacks but laced with romance. Surprise dates to Broadway shows where stories of love triumphed. Quiet evenings in Sienna's now expanded studio, sketching while Lorelai photographed. As winter approached again, Sienna's life felt fuller. She volunteered at a Philly shelter, honoring her mother's memory by helping those battling addiction. Lorelai joined her on trips, their relationship a bridge between coasts. Emotional depth grew, conversations turning to futures. Dreams of a home, perhaps adoption, building the family neither had fully known. Yet, uncertainty lingered. Lorelai received another offer, a global tour for her photography. This could be huge, she said, eyes sparkling. Sienna felt the familiar pull of fear. Go, she encouraged, masking her anxiety. But come back. The decision tested their growth, a high-stakes gamble on trust. The tour took Lorelai across oceans, to Paris's Eiffel Tower aglow at night, Tokyo's neon-lit streets, London's historic bridges. Daily messages sustained them. Photos of foreign wonders, voice notes of, I miss you. Sienna thrived in her absence, launching her own label, Unveiled Threads. In a pop-up shop in Nolita, celebrities donned her designs, praising their emotional resonance. But distance bred doubt. A tabloid snippet surfaced. Lorelai spotted with a model in Milan, arms linked. Sienna's heart plummeted. She confronted via video call, the time difference making it dawn for her, midnight for Lorelai. It's PR, Lorelai explained wearily. Nothing more. Sienna wanted to believe, but echoes of betrayal haunted her. Climax built during Lorelai's stop in San Francisco, her hometown. She invited Sienna to visit, a chance to meet her family. Flying west, Sienna's nerves jangled. The Voss home was warm, filled with Pride memorabilia and the aroma of homemade lasagna. Lorelai's parents embraced Sienna like kin. We've heard so much, her mother said, eyes twinkling. Yet tension simmered. At a gallery opening, Lorelai's ex appeared again, this time confrontational. You always run back, she sneered at Lorelai. Sienna stepped in, voice firm. She's with me now. The scene escalated into a heated exchange, drawing stares. Lorelai defended their love, but the night ended in tears. I thought I was over this, Lorelai admitted later, on a foggy Golden Gate Bridge overlook. Sienna held her. We all have ghosts. The trip forged deeper connection. They explored the Castro where Lorelai shared childhood stories, first crushes, coming out triumphs. Sienna opened up about her father, deciding to respond to his letter. I forgive you but from afar, she wrote, a weight lifting. Back in New York as snow fell, Lorelai returned for good, tour complete. Their reunion was passionate, a reaffirmation of commitment. No more secrets, they vowed. Sienna's label expanded, incorporating Lorelai's photography into campaigns, visual stories of queer love. Humanity shown in small acts. Mentoring young designers at Fit, advocating for LGBTQ+ rights at rallies. Sienna spoke at events, her story inspiring others. Hiding dims your light, she said, her designs a testament. But life threw one final curve. Elaine's estate revealed debts, threatening Sienna's stability. Lorelai stepped up, using tour earnings to help. We're in this together, she insisted. It was a gesture of unwavering love, sealing their bond. As spring renewed the city, they planned a commitment ceremony in Central Park, under blooming trees. Friends gathered, a tapestry of their journey. Vows exchanged. Through betrayal and healing, I choose you. It was romantic, emotional. A culmination of drama into peace. Yet, the ending wasn't fairy tale perfect. Sienna's father reached out again, seeking reconciliation. She met him in a neutral Philly cafe, Lorelai by her side. I was scared, he admitted, tears in his eyes. Sienna listened, but boundaries held. We can try slowly. It was human, flawed, hopeful. Their life together blended careers and love. Sienna's atelier buzzing, Lorelai's studio adjacent. They adopted a rescue dog, symbolizing new beginnings. Challenges arose, work stress, family dynamics, but communication prevailed. In quiet moments, Sienna sketched. Her designs now bold declarations of authenticity. Lorelai captured them, lenses focusing on truth. Years passed, etching lines of wisdom on their faces. Sienna's label became a staple in fashion weeks, her story a beacon for queer creators. Lorelei's books lined shelves, chronicling love in all forms. Together, they built a home in Brooklyn Heights, brownstone steps leading to a life of shared dreams. Reflecting on their path, Sienna often thought of the hook that started it all, slamming that sketchbook, Lorelei's words piercing her armor. From hiding to unveiling, their love weathered storms. Abandonment, addiction, betrayal. It was dramatic, yes, arguments echoing in city canyons, tears mingling with rain. But romance wove through. Stolen kisses in subways, dances in living rooms to old jazz records. Emotionally, they grew. Therapy became routine, tools for navigating life's twists. Personnel deepened, supporting friends through heartbreaks, volunteering at shelters. Their ceremony evolved into marriage when laws allowed, a joyous affair with rainbow confetti. The humanistic end came not in grand gestures, but quiet resilience. When Lorelei faced a health scare, a benign tumor caught early, they leaned on each other, emerging grateful. "Life's too short for hiding," Lorelei said, echoing their beginnings. Sienna's final collection, Eternal Threads, premiered to standing ovations. Inspired by their story, it featured gowns mending past and future, fabrics from Elaine's old quilts, patterns from Lorelei's photos. In the program notes, "Love isn't perfect, it's persistent." As they walked hand in hand through Times Square's lights, Sienna whispered, "We made it." Lorelei smiled, "And we'll keep making it." Their tale wasn't without sorrow, lost time, mended hearts, but it ended in hope, a testament to human spirit. In America's melting pot, where freedoms are fought for, they found theirs, authentic, unyielding love.